Hi, I'm Lori with craftroomtime.com, and I'm here to bring you another wonderful video. Please like and subscribe and ring the bell so you get notifications, and here we go. Hi everyone, this project's a little bit easier than most of the other ones. So we're going to go ahead and upload the design. It's the Card Decals SVG. And it'll come in like that, and insert the image once you select it. Now it comes in all groups, you can ungroup it and then you can pick what you want to do. In your kit you have white vinyl, it's Oracle 651, and I know that I colored all of these, but in just for the sake of the project, I'm just keeping it easy and white. So I'm going to go ahead and hide the ones that I'm not going to make. So I'm not going to make the paws. I'm not going to make the faith forever. But you can take out these pieces that you don't want, move them around however you want them. They're just for you to use if you want to. I'm just hiding them by clicking on the little eyeball here. Of course, if you want to make them, don't forget that you need to attach the letters and all that so they all print correctly, like we're going to do with these. So this Hot Mess Express, go ahead and take a look at the size of it. It's 5.4 by 3. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it 5 by, let's see how small I can make it, to close to a 5-inch. So 4.9 by 3, 5 by 3. So if you measure your window, 5 by 3, that should be good enough. You should be able to read that okay. I'm going to go ahead and attach all of that together because I'm going to have it print out all at once, and I'm going to print it all out in white anyways. The mermaid is all together, but you still want to attach it so that it will all print together. I'm going to go ahead and put it on white, and I'm going to put this one on the white as well. And I'm also going to make some extras of these for my kids, and we'll see if all of this will fit. Now this is obviously going to fit on the coaster that go inside the little cup holders. So let's go ahead and go to make it. And that is a big project. That's okay. It just takes a little longer to load onto the mats. If you run into these as an issue, you can always do one at a time, but it should load. And if it doesn't, then you might have to restart your Cricut. The mermaid tails, I have them sized big, so you can certainly make them smaller if you want. I also suggest when you put your vinyl on the paper, you're going to put the white side up, that you use painter's tape on it. It's thick and you don't want it to move around, and if your mat's not like brand new, real sticky, then you just want to make sure that it doesn't move on you. And then I'm going to move things around on my mat too, to see if I can get all of that on the white sheet that I provided to you, so we're not wasting anything. All right, so let me move these things around. So first of all, I want to take my second one, my second sheet, if it's going to let me. Yeah, okay, and I'm going to move it onto the first sheet, try to get everything on one sheet. You can see it's kind of acting up today, the Cricut. It's acting up a little bit. All right, and then I'm just going to pick the first mat and see if I can get them all on there at once. All right, so it's just going to lay on top of the other one. It just puts it up in that corner. All right, so I'm going to flip this one. Let's see, I think I need to flip it this way. this way. Like that. Let me try that first and move it down. Okay, so it's just barely hitting that Hot Mess Express. So far, so good. All right, so let me see if I can swing this one around now and get it to fit inside. Yeah, that should work just fine. Look, I got plenty of room. That should come down. It's going to come down a little bit. Yep. That is not touching, so that looks good. I might try to move this just a little bit. Let's see if we can get it on its side and see if I'll have a better, nope. Maybe move it, no. It's kind of touching right there. Let me move this one a little bit more. Not sure what I can do, let's see. I would have to go this way. Yeah, there we go. All right. Let's see, it's gonna come in a little bit. Yeah, it's going to hit it. Okay, that's not going to work. All right, let me put that back. Now let me see if I can get it back how I had it. Because that was pretty good. And I can also go back and make my Hot Mess Express a little bit smaller too. Okay, it's just barely touching. So let me see. Not sure what I can do here. Maybe move that a little bit and move that up. Then I can move this guy up a little bit higher. Yeah. Okay, so I can move that higher, just right about there. So that's just barely and barely there. This one's touching that one though. Get that moved over. I think I can move this just a little bit more this way. All right. I think that's going to work just fine now. Let's see. Oh no, it's just touching right there. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and cut it, but if I were you, I would just make the mermaid tails just a little bit smaller, or the Hot Mess Express just a tiny bit smaller. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I just know that these are going to be real tight right there. All right, and then the last one is the, and you don't have to mirror it since we're going to cut it and transfer it. And then the last one is the little coaster. You're going to want to cut that twice. I probably should have done that. Don't really have an option to add another one. I should have added another one so you can cut it, but so with the sheet that I gave you, I'm not going to cut this one because I don't want to have to go through all that with the first one again. Let me show you another one that I already have set up. I had my 3 tails here, and then I decided to add the Hot Mess Express down here. So I'm just going to go ahead with this one because I had already done the 2 right here. So be sure that you do 2, and then you can do whatever you want on the white one. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and continue. Let's see if it's going to let me. Yes. Oh no, I don't want to cancel it. No, I'm trying to continue. Okay, it was just going slow. All right, so I'm using premium outdoor vinyl, and I'm going to do the more pressure, and then I'll go ahead and load it on my machine. And like I said, make sure you tape your vinyl down. And then I'll come back and show you how to put everything together. Okay, so first what I did was I just went ahead and cut around my mermaid. And then I also have my coasters ready for the heat transfer. And I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm starting my easy press set at 370 degrees for 40 seconds. So that while that's heating up, then I'm going to go ahead and weed my vinyl. And if you start in a corner, this vinyl weeds pretty easily, but since we have a lot of wording and stuff, just take your time. Make sure all the letters stay because it's really hard to get them after the fact. And then if you want, you can weed out your other little pieces at the same time. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my words done and around the tail first. So you saw how easy, it's pretty easy. Oracle 651 is pretty easy to work with. Okay, let's put that aside. All right, and then go ahead and get the little pieces off of my birds. There's just two little pieces, not too bad. Okay, now if you remember on the thing that you have, there is a border around this, so you're going to want to take everything else that's inside the border out. So we're weeding it like this. And there's only a few scales that are on their own. Remember we attached a lot of them. I had attached a lot of them together. Okay, so just slowly, and then just make sure that the pieces are still stuck down to the blue backing. So I didn't want to get that attached. Let me put that down. Just try to grab this so it doesn't fall back on itself. So this is a really simple design, really cute though. So there we go. I don't want to do anything too hard. Because transferring can be tricky. I do see a spot that right here, where did it go? And not the fun part, trying to find these when after you get it all off. But I do have it. I'm just trying to get it off here. Go. All right, and you just gotta place it back on there as best as you can, of course. There we go. So yeah, before you roll up all your vinyl and stuff, make sure all your pieces are there. All right, now we can get rid of that. Okay, so this is ready to go. So I do want to show you how to use your scraper. So I use the big one. This is a big project, and then I'll also use the smaller one to get into the little pieces. You can also use a credit card or anything like that. Now, so the vinyl, the transfer tape, you're going to want to peel off of the back and then onto your design. Make sure the whole thing gets covered. Just like that. Make sure it's smooth. Okay, and then this is where you're gonna burnish it. And what you're doing is you're gonna transfer it onto the transfer tape. And then we'll repeat this process when we're ready to put it on the car. We'll take off the blue, and then we'll put this on the car and then rub it on. Okay, so just to make sure got it. This one's a little more flimsier than the smaller one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure I've got it down really well. Okay, and then when we go to put it on the car, you see how this will lift up off onto the transfer tape? And then you'll put this on your car, and then we'll burnish that onto the car. So for right now, this is good. And then what you can do while you're waiting, put it back on your sheet. And if you were to sell them, this is exactly what you would do. You'd put it back on your sheet and then put it in a nice bag with some instructions on how to finish the project. So now it's ready to go onto the car. All right, so let's get the coasters ready. All right, so this isn't gonna be too hard. They're just round circles. So I find that this this infusible ink is a little challenging to work with. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I kind of like the heat transfer vinyl better. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't want to come up. It's tricky to work with. I want to get it off of the, it's going to transfer on. So I got to get it off. I got to get it out of there first. Hopefully. Now I had the pressure set to more, and it looks like it didn't go all the way through. Probably because I had it on permanent vinyl setting, and you probably need to put it on ink transfer sheet for your setting. I'm sure that's what the problem is. Either that or cut it a couple times on your Cricut. Yep, that's exactly what the problem is. It is just not wanting to separate. All right, well, it's not too big of a problem. I can still see where it is. So I'm going to work with this, because we're just going to transfer this onto it anyway, so I'm just going to peel this off. Well, it's not going to be a big deal because we're just putting it on those coasters, so it's really not going to be a big deal. All right. Okay, so now we have that, and we're going to lay it down on our coaster. Get it on there as best as you can. Now, I followed the same instruction, design, size for the coasters. Looks like it's off just a little tiny bit, but I'm sure when they cut them, they're not perfectly even either. So here's the sheet that it comes with. I'm just gonna go ahead and use that sheet, put the shiny side down. And then I'm going to go ahead and set my heat press on it. Now this is going to get tricky because it's, like I said, this stuff's hard to work with. So what you can do is you can use some heat transfer. Use a mini press, or use what's it called? The Teflon tape to hold it down in place. But I'm gonna try to do this without that because it's not handy, for one. Okay, that should be good. Okay, this stuff out of the way. So these coasters are cool to put in your little cup holders in the car. They'll soak up the condensation from your cups. Keeps the little hole clean for you. All right, Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it worked pretty good. Oh, that's really cool. I like it. It looks like little pebbles. So that was pretty simple. So I gave you different designs to choose from. Cricut has different kinds you can use. They don't look the same, obviously, right? They don't look the same. So it's kind of always, the first time I used it, I was like, I don't know what it's gonna look like, actually. And then I was pleasantly surprised that it came out pretty good. So, like I said, so when you're cutting out the coasters, use the Infusible ink setting for your Cricut. Don't do what I'm doing. And then it'll cut better. So you'll need to cut your vinyl first and then reload your project again. But this is working out just fine. One of those do as I say, not as I do teaching moments. Okay.
Can I get you anything else? More glass wine?
Taping. It's okay. Okay, with the back on it, it's obviously not going to roll up as much. See, now this one fits on this coaster better, so like I said, they're just however they're cut. I'm just going to use this one again, and now I won't have that problem. So I can set this on here. I do want to point out that when you cut these on your mat, obviously you need to put, you cut on the side, this side, the colorful side, and tape it down, because this is really rigid and it comes in a roll, so it's already bent. So that's the only way that you're going to get a good product out of it. But this is fun. Using the sublimation blanks is fun. All right. And you can see it just, it's hot. It's very hot, so be very careful. But you can see it just pops right off. So now I've got my 2 coasters for my car. And I think those are cute. They'll be cute for the car. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this project. I'm going to go put this guy on my car, and I'll show you how I do that in just a few minutes. Ready? Okay, so first we want to clean the window. So I'm going to go ahead and use a Clorox wipe to clean it. Make sure it's good and clean. And you can also use an alcohol wipe. But I know that it just needs to be dry and clean. Okay. All right, now, so we're gonna remove it back from remove the backing off of it again. The blue, take it off. That first. Okay, and then I have my blue, so I just kind of want to look and see where I want to put it. So probably right there will be good. So we're going to remove the blue. Okay. All right, and then we're going to put it on our window. This is kind of a one and done, so just take your time and try to line it up the way you want it. That looks good enough. Okay, and then use the same process we used before. I'm gonna try to get all the bubbles out or anything. Just get it on there really well. And the more that you burnish it, the better it will stay on your window as well. fingers are on there real well. Okay, there's really not much more that you can do. You just want to watch it though over the next couple days and make sure that if any of it's coming up that you put it down, place it down. I'm trying to get in all these little grooves in the letters. Make sure that they're stuck down really well. Okay. And then we will slowly see if it transferred. Did pretty good. It's not, I don't see it lifting at all, which is good. I don't feel it lifting at all, so it's good. Like I said, this transfer tape and this transfer Oracle 651 is pretty easy to work with. I did miss a spot here. That's why you go slow. Because that edge is just really thin. Yeah, that's good. Once you get it on there, then you can always press it with your fingers to get it to stay. Sometimes doing them at an angle works better. Just go slow. Always go slow. I got them all on there. Okay, then I'm just going to go back with my finger and make sure that all those little pieces are pressed on really well so they're not coming up later. Press them down with your finger now. I'm on there really well. All right, and that's it. That's all there is to it. I think it turned out nice. I like it with the white track too. It looks good.